Nuru, and the shivering star. Note: high above the clouds, Nuru lived in the station of soft signals, a glass-domed home that floated like a bubble in the velvet night. Her grandfather, Elder Orion, was the keeper of the sky. Together, they spent their evenings catching messages that drifted down from the stars like glowing autumn leaves. Beside them flitted Blink, a fuzzy moth-cat with antennae that pulsed like soft neon hearts. Tonight, a heavy silence fell as a brilliant blue envelope tumbled from the rafters and landed in Nuru's lap. It wasn't warm like the others. It was shivering so violently that it rattled her teeth, shedding tiny frost flakes shaped like musical notes that crunched like sugar on the floor. Nuru pulled her knees to her chest, cradling the freezing paper. Through the translucent blue, she saw words written in pale ice ink, but the letters were thinning and turning to mist. "Grandfather, look!" Nuru cried, her breath puffing white in the sudden chill. "The star's secret is evaporating."
Elder Orion peered through his brass magnifying glass, his silver beard dusting the frost. He sighed, a heavy, worried sigh. To save the message, Nuru had to perform the warmth reveal, a delicate sequence of 3 different kinds of heat. If the ice ink vanished before the third warmth was applied, the star's voice would be lost to the great, cold dark forever.
Knowing time was short, Nuru leaned down and pressed her lips near the shivering paper. She began to hum a low, buzzing melody, the kind of song a beehive makes on a sunny afternoon. Blink the moth-cat understood. He landed on the envelope and added a deep, vibrating purr that made the glass dome ring. As their voices mingled, the frost flakes, shaped like notes, began to glow a bruised, hopeful purple. The ink darkened slightly, turning from mist to slush, but the envelope still felt like a jagged piece of a glacier. Nuru's fingers went numb, yet she knew a song was only the beginning of the thaw. For the second warmth, Nuru didn't just use her voice. She gave the star note a fierce, protective hug. She tucked the freezing blue square against her chest, right over her beating heart. The cold was biting, stinging through her sweater like 1,000 tiny needles, but Nuru squeezed tighter. She whispered to the star that it was safe now, and Blink curled around her neck like a living scarf of heat. Suddenly, a scent like sun-drenched rain filled the observatory. The envelope stopped its frantic rattling, and the ice ink flushed a vivid, happy pink, though the words remained a blurry swirl of rosy slush. "One more, whispered, her heart racing. She dashed across the station to her velvet sleeping cushion and grabbed her favorite yellow woolen sock, which had been toasting atop the brass heater. It was thick, fuzzy, and smelled of home. With steady hands, she slid the glowing blue envelope into the golden wool, wrapping it up like a tiny, precious bird. The last of the frost flakes finally surrendered, melting into sparkling droplets that vanished into the fabric. The envelope grew still and heavy in her hands, radiating a gentle golden glow. Slowly, Nuru pulled the paper out to find the ice ink had transformed into solid, shimmering gold letters. Nuru and Elder Orion leaned in as the golden ink leapt off the page, projecting a shimmering map onto the glass dome. It wasn't a letter of words, but a map to a hidden corner of the sky where a brand new constellation was waking up, a cluster of stars shaped exactly like a leaping moth-cat. Blink let out a joyful chirp, his antennae sparking with silver light as the new stars twinkled back from the deep. Nuru smiled, tucking the empty, warm sock under her pillow. The sky was no longer a cold, lonely place. It was a vast library of friends, just waiting for someone to keep them warm.